Here with Becky, and she used to be from these parts, and now she's going to race on Saturday at Lifetime. She's obviously had a pretty good season, and she already got a big win earlier in the year out in California. So we're just going to ask her a few questions. First of all, obviously Lifetime, big race. This year we don't have the equalizer. What type of strategies are you looking at, or what's kind of been your view on this race? I mean, you've done well in the past. Last year you did great, but how are you kind of looking towards this race?
I guess trying to take it the same way as I did last year, and basically it's, you gotta kind of go hard the whole way. It's like there's no letting up. It's actually a pretty short race, even though it is 2 hours. There's no time to really, drop back or take it easy. So I just, I go into it, I try to have the best swim I can, come out pretty close to the leaders, and then really for me the bike is where I try to, make the most of it. I feel like that's my strongest, probably the 3. And that's
what bike are you riding this year?
I'm riding a Felt DA.
Yep, the new one.
All carbon, yeah, pretty sweet. And yes, I'm hoping to just, get the most out of the bike that I can, and get a big enough lead, and try to just run as hard as I can.
One question I have is obviously, I think last year, come around Clearwater time, you weren't able to compete in it because of an injury. And so this year, that's obviously must be one of your goals for the end of the year, or?
For Clearwater?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I qualified at Ralph's, so I have my slot, and just gotta stay upright on the bike, and I'll hopefully be there.
Yeah. One question I have is, as far as you've done shorter races and you're doing now, half Ironman and stuff. Have you seen like your volume on specific workouts increase a lot versus the previous years, or how have you made that transition? Or
yeah, I guess for me, I haven't done a ton of halves in the middle of the year.
Okay.
So I either do one at the beginning, one at the end, or one in just the beginning, just the end. So it gives me time, like in the base, early season where I'm not racing as much, to put in more volume. And then once the season hits, like April, May, where I'm doing more Olympic distance races, it's definitely harder to get in that same kind of volume.
Right.
So I do definitely more like speed and intensity.
Okay.
And then, if I do one at the end of the year, I pick up the volume again the last couple months.
So will you take some time off in October leading up to Clearwater, or?
Time off, like no training?
Oh, no, not no training, but as far as racing, yeah, and increase the volume.
Right, yeah. It's pretty busy through September,
okay.
And then I'll have a good 6 weeks probably of maybe one race. So,
right.
Yeah, there'll definitely be time to put volume in.
If Clearwater goes well, and looking towards next year, what would be your kind of main goal for next year? Do you think about moving up to Ironman, or do you think you just kind of want to cement your spot right now in half Ironmans? Or?
Yeah, I do like the halves, definitely, and I guess I just say never on the Ironman, but right. I don't see that really in the next couple years.
Okay.
Maybe further down the line.
Yeah.
I'd like to at least give a shot at the Olympic trials.
Right, I wanted to ask you about that. So that's obviously coming up, and there's an important race in China at the end of the year?
Yeah,
or?
In September.
In September.
It's our first trials race in Beijing.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to get on the start line for that, and then there'll be 2 more races in the spring of next year.
Right.
So then once that, go whichever way it ends up going, I'll kind of determine mid-season next year kind of what route I want to take.
It seemed there's quite a bit of these short courses. I was just talking to Emma, and she was saying the same thing. I really want to get to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And after the Olympics, decide if you want to go longer or not.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more suited for longer distance, so it'd be interesting to try to give it a shot.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you have dinner in about half an hour, so thank you.
Yeah.